watch Sanford and Son weeknights at 7 on Channel 48, they ran a clip from an old Sanford and Son episode. It was the episode where Lamont got arrested by a white police officer, and Fred went down to traffic court to complain because he thought the officer only arrested black drivers. So this is a clip that they showed to get people to watch Sanford and Son. Excuse me, do you arrest any white drivers? You do? Well, where are they? Look at all these niggas in here. There's enough niggas in here to make a Tarzan movie. They play that clip every day after school. Yeah, for real. So I listened to that every day in school the next day. I guess the show that really greased the wheels for the N-word on network television in a regular way was the miniseries Roots. For those of you who don't know about Roots, before Ancestry.com there was Roots. It was a story of Alex Haley, a black man who went to trace his ancestry, and it went all the way back to 18th century Africa, because like a lot of us, we don't know our full history. So it was a best-selling book, landmark book, and they made it into a miniseries. For those of you who don't know what a miniseries is, it's imagine Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead, a new episode of The Walking Dead every day of the week. Okay, that's what a miniseries was back then. And so Roots was a miniseries back in 1977, and it's still the highest-rated miniseries of all time. At least some or part of the country, 99 million people saw Roots, and the last episode of Roots was seen by 140 million people. That was 3/4 of the United States back then. 140 million people saw the last episode of Roots. And during the week of Roots, because he traced his roots back to 18th century Africa, and there was enslavement, and there was segregation. So the N-word was like on every single night. And so the last episode was the culmination of the story, but the N-word for the whole week had just been thrown about. And the last episode was on January 30th, 1977. And I'm going to get to, and there's a point to why I pointed out that date. There's not going to be a test later, but I'm leading up to something. This is part of the 15 minutes where it may not be fun, but I'll get it. I told you I went to all-white private school, right? That was the name of it. One of my substitute teachers there was Miss Burton, okay? Beautiful woman, lovely woman, young, just got out of college. She was the prototype of white liberalism. She went to Woodstock, she drove a VW Bug, she taught class barefoot a couple times, just really, out there. But and when she saw me, she was like, she said hi to all the kids, but when she saw me, hi Craig. How you doing? She always sought me out, I guess because she knew that I was the only black kid in my class, and she was always, it was like the Warner Brothers cartoon with the bulldog and the little kitten. That's how she saw me. It was just like no, you okay? Everyone bothering you? You good? Okay, you let me know. So sweet, sweetest woman. Now, I was in 5th grade, okay, and in 5th grade at the time, at least twice a month, I'd have to read the school announcements. Every 5th grader had to do it. It was no big deal. I'd done it before, it's no big deal. And the announcements were like, don't forget the Valentine's Day bake sale is coming up. The boys varsity basketball team is going to play Friends Central at 3 o'clock, and seniors, don't forget your senior quotes for the yearbook. Stuff like that. Done it before, it's no big deal. I liked it because, just like now, I like being in front of an audience, and it was fun for me. And it was fun also because I made friends, and so if you're a 5th grader, if you're 10 years old, if you're a 10-year-old boy, your only job on earth is to make fun of your friends. To make fart noises, to throw spitballs, to do anything to degrade your friend's mother, anything, because 10-year-old boys are inherently stupid. Okay? I have no problem saying that there's tons of kids here, and you were all 10, You do dumb stuff. That's what you do. I felt included though because I was one of those people. So when my friends come up, they would do it. I would throw stuff at them, trying to get them to crack up, trying to get them to laugh. That's your only job. If you're giving the announcements, whoever's giving the announcements, you make them laugh. You try to get them to crack up. So I've set the stage for you. So I came into school, and it happened to be January 31st, 1977, the day after the last episode of Roots. And my regular teacher wasn't there. I come in on Monday, and there's Miss Burton, okay? And she's, oh, Craig, how are you? Also happened, it was my turn to read the announcements. And she, oh, that's wonderful! Oh my goodness! Oh, you're gonna do so good! I'm rubbing my shoulders and thinking, again, done this before, not a big deal. She was treating me like I was a junior Martin Luther King Jr. without the I Had a Dream 2 speech or something. And so the thing is, the auditorium was like this, and when the fifth grader has to come up and walk up and like this, a little mic, and just read the announcements and walk off. Okay, Miss Burton, okay, had her hands on my shoulders and led me up to the stage, kind of like she was guiding me through oppression, like that. Got up here, and I was, and she's right up the side, where all the teachers were off to the side, but so she was supposed to be there, but she led me up. So I started reading the announcements, and don't forget the Valentine's bake sale is coming up, and I looked up and I saw my friend Marcus, and he had a big wad of paper. He threw it at me, and I ducked, and Miss Burton lost it, because she thought this wad of paper was racially motivated. And right away, before it even hit the ground, what did you do? And the rest of the speech, it sounded like Raj from What's Happening. Louder, speak up! Guidance me. Valentine's Day finger. I'm up on my way through the rest of it, and Miss Burton met me backstage, and I was so embarrassed, and I messed it up because I like being on stage, and I blew it. She was sat there right there, and she had arms stretched. I'm so proud of you! You did so good! Miss Burton took away the one thing that I had at the time that made me feel like I was part of a group, like I was one of the guys. In her zeal to do good by me, she reminded me that